Jolly Green 1990 here to do a review of One Piece Chapter 1058. And wow, it was a bounty review from Manzoro and a lot of other people. So to me, that is huge. I'm going to leave my Manzoro right there so we can enjoy his glory. There was a lot of bounties. So in this, I'm going to discuss what I thought the bounties were. You can go back and check my video that I did for bounties. And I'm also going to discuss the Straw Hats as well as the Shibukai. We didn't get Weevil and we didn't get Hancock's, but we did get Mihawk and we did get Buggy. So I honestly thought Zoro's was going to be about 1.4 billion based on the fact that he defeated King. He was right around 1.3. His actual bounty is 1,111,000,000. The scans it said a little differently. So this is coming from the Viz translation. Next, I thought for sure Sanji was going to be above the next because he defeated Queen, who was right around a billion. Jinbei. So I was wrong. I will take the L for that big time. I'm happy, surprised, but I guess with his Shibukai status, you could say it was his clout that gave him that, in my opinion, as well as defeating Who's Who. But I think, again, it was also the fact that his clout Shibukai status, he did defeat Who's Who, and Luffy being able to kind of raise everyone up. So with that, then, Sanji was over a billion, so that's a tiny W, but it's still a little L for me as well. He's right below Jinbei. So Jinbei was 1,100,000,000. Sanji is 1,032,000,000. So the next person I thought was going to either be, I thought it was going to be Jinbei, and then I thought it was going to be Robin, but I didn't think Robin's was going to be as high as it was. So Robin's is 930 million. I thought right between around 500 million. No, skyrocketed. So that is an L for me. I'm happy. Love Robin. Think she's wonderful, and she now has the second highest bounty for female characters. The first one is Smoothie, who is on Big Mom's crew. The next one, I thought they were either going to go this way or kind of give it a nice floor. So what they did was the next four was they gave them all 300 mil increase, which I'm fine with because that pushes a lot of them in actual strength-wise. The only one I don't think is as strong for you around that bounty would be Usopp. So the next one is Usopp. He did jump from 200 mil to 300 million berries. I don't think he's ready to be able to defend that yet. I think he would be right around 300 mil. I think it's awesome. Got Usopp. Cool with that. But I don't think he's ready to actually be able to defend and prove that he is worth that. Next, Frankie, 394. I thought for sure he was going to be higher because he defeated Sasaki. So Usopp, I took the L. Frankie, I'm taking the L as well because I thought he'd be higher. Right below 400, so I can't complain. But it's still an L for me. Next, I did not think Brook was going to be this high. 383 mil. Mine originally was 83 million. He got a 300 mil increase. I'm fine with that. I think he's wonderful. That's awesome. But that is an L for me, so I'll take that. Nami, figured she'd be right around 300s. Not this high, 363 million, but she's at least 300 mil. So I take that as a little W, not a big one, and not a major L, but a little L. Chopper. Poor little Chopper. 1,000 berries. That's something. I thought it might shoot to like 500. No, it's 1,000. So I like the fact that, so review time for the bounties. I like the fact that Jinbei, Sanji, and Zoro are all over a bill. Because at the end of, right before the end of Wano, essentially we see Green Bull has showed up, an Admiral, and Luffy, Jinbei, Sanji, and Zoro are all nearby, essentially observing. And so to me, the fact that those four were there shows they are aware, they are the strong tiers, upper echelon of the crew. And so I like the fact that those four are all above a billion because to me, they are the strongest. I thought Yamato was going to join. That is a big L for me. Sad. But I still think at some point she will join. That is my agenda. We'll talk about that later. Next, I love the fact that Robin is next. So the chapter calls them the 9 commanders. I'm fine with that. I like that because it means they'll have a fleet under them. I'm jumping off task. Robin, I like the fact that she had the high bounty. I think she has earned it with her Devil Fueler looked like an awakening. Even if it's not, she defeated Black Maria, who had a high bounty, and her knowledge, I think, also skyrockets her up. Going next, Usopp. I like him. I don't think he's ready for his that bounty. I don't think he can defend it yet. Frankie got shafted because it's not his photo. It's the Sunny's. I think that's hysterical. I feel for the man. I like Frankie, and I think he is currently stronger than Usopp, but I think Usopp at the end of Elbaf will be stronger than Frankie and will maintain that status. So I'm happy with that. Brook, I like the fact that he is in the 300s. He didn't defeat one-on-ones, but he did do a lot of support in Whole Cake and Wano, so I like that. Nami did get a major power-up with Zeus, so I think she's earned that. I think her character development with saying Luffy will not stop until he becomes the Pirate King was another plus for her. Chopper, a YouTuber I watched kind of compared it with maybe the world government thinks there's a difference between Chopper and his monster. I don't know if that's the case. I do hope by the end of the series, Chopper actually gets respect. I don't know if he will. I don't like the gag of him being a little pet because I did think he did some stuff with curing the virus. I think as a doctor, phenomenal. As a power-up, as a combatant, I don't think he did a lot this arc. Moving on to my big L's. I did not think Crocodile was going to reappear this big and have this massive of a bounty. I take the L for that big time. Crocodile now has a bounty of 1.9 billion, so it's 1,965,000,000. I think that's perfect because we know he's done a lot. Based on the stuff that happened with Cross Guild, I like the fact that kind of he should be more of the Emperor, not Buggy. I'm curious to see how the interactions between him and the Straw Hats are going to go forward in the future. I would like to see him face some of the others and not particularly Luffy. Or if he does face Luffy, I hope it's more of a one-side defeat, even with Crocodile's high bounty. Next one we'll talk about is Mihawk. Mihawk has a 3.590,000,000 bounty. I think it's perfect considering the world government said in skills he is greater than Shanks. I agree with that. When it comes to overall power, I disagree. I think Shanks is still stronger with his hockey, but when it comes to sword skills, Shanks lost his dominant arm, and he had to adapt and train with his other. So we know his sword skills have not rusted, but he had to shift to get better at what he struggled with his left hand. And so I think that is important. Mihawk still has both those, and he's strong with those. So I think his sword skills, oh yeah. But I think for overall ability and power, Shanks is topping him. Slightly higher bounty. I do like the fact that we have respect for Mihawk. Wonderful. He trained Zoro. He is the Marine Hunter. I like the parallels between him and Zoro. Zoro is the Pirate Hunter. Mihawk is the Marine Hunter. And so we now know that Zoro has to top, or should top, a bounty of 3,590,000,000 to be considered he's equal or better than Mihawk. The last, I want to talk about Buggy. Strictly clout. Entire chapter we saw him. He was begging, he was crying, he was pathetic. But the world government thinks he's the boss of the Cross Guild, which we all know is actually Mihawk and Crocodile. Crocodile made that very clear. He didn't want to upset Mihawk because he knows Mihawk is stronger than him, in my opinion. So Buggy got a 3,189,000,000, and that is strictly because the world government thinks he is the boss of the Cross Guild. We know actual strength. He's probably, I still stand that he's less than 300 million easy. I would say less than 100 based on all this. I'm excited for the future, what this holds for the characters, the bounties. I think we'll get more. I liked how the end we looked at what was going on with Sabo. I want to kind of jump and discuss like review real quick. So when I'm doing review, I haven't planned out a specific plan. I'm just going to say my thoughts. I will do some other videos in the future. Maybe in the future, I'll have a better plan of how I'm going to do out my reviews. I will be doing review or second video every week. There's a chapter released for One Piece to discuss my quick thoughts. Sometimes it'll be 10 to 15. Sometimes it might be 2 to 3 minutes. I was excited for this chapter. I loved it because we had so much packed in. We had the stuff with the bounties. We had the 9 commanders. We had the stuff with the cross guild. We had flashback how Mihawk essentially defeated the Marines, came after, and how Crocodile contact. We had Crocodile going with Dad's bones and essentially looked like saving Buggy, but was actually essentially telling Buggy, you owe me money, pay up. And then we essentially have how Buggy essentially gave him his organization and they took it over, became part of the Cross Guild. And then Buggy's crew member or people thought because he was talking with Crocodile Mihawk, he was on par with them. And so they flooded the world government with a poster that essentially made it look like Buggy was in charge. Crocodile wanted to get rid of him after all the nonsense. And Mihawk's like, no, wait. We can use this. And so I like that Mihawk, we're seeing more to Mihawk. We're seeing more to Crocodile. We're seeing that Buggy's crew essentially is all pathetic. They ditched him, which we all kind of expected. And so we had so much information. And then the Sabo stuff. How about how we know Kuma is back with the world government. And the revolutionaries were untouched. We know God, the admirals, Fujitora was wounded, whether it was because of Sabo or the others. But, as you were saying, One Piece agenda is strong with this chapter. Oda was saying, look, revolutionaries came out on top. World government. Big L. Big L. I am a Yonko and a revolutionaries big fan. Love it. I like the Marines. They have good characters, but they are not getting those big fat W's recently. Excited to see if they're going to get any by the end of this year. I think we'll get some. But agenda, they are dropping fast. Their stocks, people are pulling out. They're going Yonko. So I'm excited truly to see what happens next week. I will do another video discussing the total Shibukai if I think Weevil or Boa should be updated because we are on break next week. If you like this video, like it. If you have a comment, your thoughts on what you thought the bounty is going to be. If you want to join my Discord, which I'm going to be discussing this as well with the videos, let me know. Jolly Green, 1999. Jolly Green, 1990, signing out, along with my dog, Chewbacca, who's our new mascot. I will talk to you all later. Bye, YouTube.